Log into your Softr account and head to the Applications section in the left sidebar to see all of your projects. Once you've located the app you want to rename, click on it to open it in the editor. In the upper left corner of the editor, you'll see the current name of your application. Click directly on that name, and it becomes editable, allowing you to type in whatever new title you have in mind. Think carefully about the name you choose. This should be clear, descriptive, and reflective of the app's purpose, making it easy to spot at a glance in your workspace. After you've entered the new name, simply click outside the text field or hit the Enter key on your keyboard, and the change saves immediately. The updated name will then appear everywhere in your Soft workspace, from the sidebar list to any shareable links. Take a moment to verify that the new name has been saved correctly. If you manage multiple applications, adopting a consistent naming convention, like starting each name with a project type or client identifier, can save you a lot of time when searching for the right app later. It is also a good practice to review the rest of your application before leaving the editor, just to confirm that nothing else has been altered. Renaming your app only changes its title, so your pages, content settings, and connected data sources remain perfectly intact. That is one of the great things about Softr. It keeps the process simple and risk-free. For example, if you are rebranding a client portal or shifting the focus of a membership site, you can update the name without worrying about breaking any underlying functionality. Many beginners worry that renaming might affect their published site or linked Airtable or Google Sheets data, but I can assure you it does not. The name is purely a label for your convenience. That said, if you are collaborating with a team, a descriptive name can prevent confusion and streamline communication. You might even include a version number or date if you are iterating on a design. Just avoid using names that are too similar to other applications in your workspace, as that can lead to accidental opens or edits. Once you have verified the change and feel good about the new name, you can confidently share your application with others, knowing it will look professional and organized. If you ever need to rename it again in the future, simply repeat these steps. It takes only a few seconds. To get the most out of Soft, I also recommend establishing a naming system early on, especially if you plan to build multiple apps. For instance, you could use prefixes like Client Mist for external projects and Internal Mist for team tools. This small habit pays off as your workspace grows. Also, keep in mind that the app name is separate from the subdomain or custom domain, so renaming here will not change your URL. If you want to update the URL, that is a different setting in the app's general settings. But for everyday organization, this in-editor rename is your fastest tool. One more tip. If you are using templates or duplicating apps, your new copy will inherit the original name, so make renaming one of your first steps after duplication. That way you avoid having two apps with identical titles floating around. Now you have successfully renamed your Soft app, keeping your workspace tidy and your projects easy to identify. Whenever you need to revisit this process or share it with a teammate, feel free to save this video for quick reference. Happy building, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Let's dive a bit deeper into why a clean naming convention matters beyond just individual organization. When you work on multiple projects, say a client portal, an internal dashboard, and a community hub, you might find yourself toggling between several app tabs frequently. If your apps are named Softr App 3 or Untitled Project, you are relying on memory or screenshots to identify which one to open. Over time, this friction slows you down and can lead to editing the wrong app by accident. A good naming system acts like a map for your workspace. Consider adopting a pattern that includes the project type, the client or purpose, and a version number. For example, client_portal_acme_v2 or internal_inventory_dashboard. This makes it instantly scannable in your app list, and it also helps when you share access with a collaborator. They will immediately understand the context without needing to ask you for clarification. You can even use emojis at the start of the name, like a lock icon for a private app or a checkmark for a completed version, though keep in mind that not all platforms render them consistently. Another practical scenario. If you ever need to duplicate an app for testing a new feature, rename it immediately to something like client_portal_acme_v2_test. This prevents confusion when you later want to push changes to the live version. The test app will have its own identity, and you will never accidentally delete or update the wrong one. In fact, many teams build a habit of prefixing test variants with ZZZ underscore, so they sort to the bottom of the list, keeping production apps front and center. Finally, remember that renaming is also useful when an app's purpose evolves. Perhaps you started with a simple lead capture, but later added a full CRM dashboard. Changing the name from lead_form to sales_CRM signals that shift and helps new team members understand the app's scope without reading through all its pages. So think of naming less as a one-time chore and more as an ongoing lightweight maintenance task, one that keeps your Softr workspace agile, clear, and ready for growth.